Good morning, sunshines. How are you, children? I hope you all are fine. Today I am teaching you class 7 activity number 1. So let's begin. First, children, have you heard equality word before? Yes, number of times. So, can you tell me what do you understand by the word equality? Yes, the right of different groups of people to have a similar social position and receive the same treatment. Or, in another words, we can say that a situation in which men and women, people of different races, religions, etc., are all treated fairly and have the same opportunities. After equality, types of equality. How many types of equality? There are three types of equality. Which are they? They are social equality, economic equality, and political equality. So, first we will take what is social equality. Social equality is a state of affairs in which all people within a specific society or isolated group have the same status in certain respects, often including civil rights, freedom of speech, property rights, and equal access to social goods and services. Equality equal to sameness. For example, equality provides the same thing for everyone. This only works when people start from the same place, history, and set of circumstances. Equity equals to justice. How? Equity is about fairness and providing people with the resources and opportunities they need, given their history and set of circumstances. Second, economic equality. What is economic equality? See, economic equality in India means equal work, equal pay. Most democracies in the world promise economic equality. Social equality is also important for any democratic system. Examples of economic equality are as follows. Many countries have tried to reform their economic systems to introduce more economic equality. For example, in Canada, the policy of progressive taxation could be seen as an attempt to redistribute wealth. Progressive taxation means that people who earn more money are taxed at a higher rate. After economic equality, children, do you know about political equality? Yes. Political equality is that the equal right should be given to vote and also to contest in election irrespective of caste, creed, religion, economic status. Political equality is very important in achieving a democratic government. Examples of political equality. Political equality implies that all citizens should have equal access to similar political rights. They may include the rights to vote, to contest elections, to voice one's political opinion, and criticize government policies, and to actively participate in governance. Clear, children? Three types of equality? Yes. Next, draw a flow chart on equality. Types of equality. There are three types of equality. Which are they? Social equality, economic equality, political equality. Now, what is social equality? Social equality should be treated equally in every society without any discrimination of caste, creed, religion, race, language, sex, or place of birth. All are allowed to use and go to any public places. Second equality, economic equality. Economic equality, fair distribution of wealth among all. All should get equal wage for same type of job and qualification. Last one, political equality. Political equality, under this we are having universal adult franchise. Children, do you know about universal adult franchise? Yes. The universal adult franchise refers that all citizens who are 18 years and above, irrespective of their caste or education, religion, color, race, and economic conditions, are free to vote. Every citizen has the right to work for the betterment of his or her country. I hope you understood types of equality. After this, activity number 2, that is, write a short paragraph on types of volcanoes. Now, children, first we will take what is a volcano. Have you heard volcano word before? Yes. A volcano is a weak spot in the crust where molten material or magma comes to the surface. Magma is a molten mixture of rock forming substances, gases, and water from the mantle. When magma reaches the surface, it is called lava. Okay, geologists classify volcanoes into how many groups? 3 distinct groups. Which are they? They are active, dormant, and extinct volcanoes. So, first we will take active volcanoes. What is active volcanoes? Active volcanoes erupted recently and they are probably going to erupt again soon. If a volcano erupts often, meaning it erupts every couple of years, then it's active. But if a volcano hasn't erupted in around 10,000 years, then it is inactive and not expected to erupt. Second one is dormant volcanoes. Dormant volcanoes are the volcanoes that are quiet but might possibly erupt again. A dormant volcano is sleeping, but it could awaken in the future. Third one is extinct volcanoes. Now, what is extinct volcanoes? An extinct volcano is a volcano that is no longer active. A volcano which has not erupted in the past 10,000 years is extinct. The extinct volcano no longer has a lava supply. An extinct volcano is no longer near an active geologic hotspot, if it ever was. After types of volcanoes, we will take next activity number 3, that is draw a well labeled diagram on layers of atmosphere. Our atmosphere is divided into how many layers, children? Into 5 layers, starting from the Earth's surface. These are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. So first, troposphere. The troposphere is the lowest layer and is closest to the Earth's surface. Troposphere is the most important layer as all weather phenomena like the formation of clouds, fog, frost, dew, thunder, lightning, precipitation, etc. occur in this layer. Second is stratosphere. The stratosphere lies above the troposphere. This layer is almost free from all types of weather phenomena. Clear? Then third one, mesosphere. The mesosphere lies above the stratosphere. Mesosphere is the coldest layer in the atmosphere. After mesosphere, thermosphere. The thermosphere lies above the mesosphere. Mesosphere, in this layer, the temperature increases rapidly with the increase in height. Clear? Then last one, exosphere. Exosphere is the uppermost layer. Very light gases like hydrogen and helium are found in this layer. Okay. After this activity, now we will take activity number 4. On political map of India, name and locate the following with proper index. First one, city of Akbar, Fatehpur Sikri. It lies just east of the Rajasthan state border, about 23 miles 37 km west to southwest of Agra. Fatehpur Sikri is a town in Agra district of Uttar Pradesh in India. It was built by Akbar in 1569 to honor Sheikh Salim Chishti. Fatehpur Sikri is also known as the City of Victory. It is famous for Buland Darwaza, Jama Masjid, tomb of Salim Chishti, etc. After this point number 2. One temple town and capital of Cholas, Thanjavur. Thanjavur. Thanjavur, formerly Tanjore, is a city in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. Thanjavur location is one of the 38 districts of the state of Tamil Nadu in southeastern India. Thanjavur is an important center of South Indian religion, art, and architecture. Most of the great living Chola temples, which are UNESCO World Heritage monuments, are located in and around Thanjavur. Thanjavur is a temple site in the Tamil Nadu region of southern India. Thanjavur was the capital of the great Chola king Raja Raja I. Many other temples and shrines were added over the centuries, making Thanjavur one of the most important and most visited historical sites in India today. After point number 2, next point number 3, the major control of Babur, Delhi. Delhi, officially known as the National Capital Territory. Delhi is located in northern India. The city is bordered on its northern, western, and southern sides by the state of Haryana and to the east by that of Uttar Pradesh. Delhi is of great historical significance as an important commercial transport and cultural hub, as well as the political center of India. After point number 3, we will take point number 4, the Kingdom of Pallas. West Bengal state in eastern India between the Himalayan and Bay of Bengal. Its capital is Kolkata. The history of West Bengal began in 1947 when the Hindu dominated western part of British Bengal province became the Indian state of West Bengal. When India gained independence in 1947, Bengal was partitioned along religious lines. After point number 4, point number 5, the capital of Rashtrakutas, Malkhed. It is a town in Karnataka state of India. It is located on the banks of Kagina river in Sedam Taluk of Gulbarga district, around 40 km from Kalaburagi, originally known as Manya Kheta, Manna Kheda in Prakrit. It was the capital of the Rashtrakuta dynasty during 9th and 10th centuries. At Malkhed, there is historical fort. The restoration of the fort is in the progress based on a proposal submitted by HKADB, Hyderabad Karnataka Area Development Board. Now, after the capital of Rashtrakutas, point number 6, the place ruled by Sisodiya ruler Mewar. Mewar is a region in the south central part of Rajasthan state of India. It includes the present day districts of Bhilwara, Chittorgarh, Pratapgarh, Udaipur, Pirawara Tehsil of Jhalawar district of Rajasthan, Neemuch and Mandsaur of Madhya Pradesh and some parts of Gujarat. For centuries, the region was ruled by Rajputs. The princely state of Udaipur emerged as an administrative unit during the period of British East India Company governance in India and remained until the end of the British Raj era. After this, point number 6, point number 7. The place won by Aurangzeb in 1687. Golconda. Golconda historic fortress and ruined city lying 5 miles 8 kilometers west of Hyderabad in western Telangana state, southern India. From 1518 to 1591, it was the capital of the Qutub Shahi Kingdom, one of 5 Muslim sultanates of the Deccan. Golconda Fort, also known as Golconda, is a fortified citadel and an early capital city of the Qutub Shahi dynasty located in Hyderabad, Telangana, India. Now, last point, that is point number 8. The most important city in North India during the early medieval period. Kanauj district is an administrative district of Uttar Pradesh state in northern India along the river Ganges. The historic town of Kanauj, northwest of Kanpur, is the administrative center. Kanauj is situated near the Ganga river, about 50 miles 80 kilometers northwest of Kanpur, with which it has roads and rail connects. Thank you so much.